Okay, in this section, what we're going to do is we're going to figure out a way to get back to our main menu from the content example level. Here we are in the main menu level, and let's go ahead and go into our test room level here. So as you noticed, when we hit start last time, we ended up in here, but we had no way back. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here to where it says interactables. And there is this one section here. This is what we're going to use for our return station. So let me select this, and I'm going to call this return station for now. And I might change the name later. And I'll put in here, press button to return to the main menu. And on this second paragraph, I'm just going to delete anything in there. So we got that. Okay, so this is our return station. Now you see we've got this BP demo trigger here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag it into the scene like so. And if we take a good look at this, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to go the other way around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it 180 degrees that way. And then I'm going to push it in like right about there because I don't want to accidentally trigger it while I'm just walking down the corridor. And we're just going to leave it like that. So this is the trigger that's going to get us back to the main menu. And if we double click into it and look at it, you'll see here is the logic, and the logic is already set up for us, right? So it calls our trigger actor, which is our BP interface button, right? So where is that? That would be the BP interface button right here. And in here, if we look in here, you'll see that it's got a trigger ID, and that's pretty much all it has in there. Let me just double check on here, the BP demo trigger. Call through the BP interface button. Every blueprint that implements this interface is going to be triggered when this is called, but we can use the trigger ID to build logic into our blueprint so that we're not triggering every single blueprint that's implementing this interface. One of the principles is that the receiving blueprint needs to implement the interface. So right now, in this particular case, we don't even have anything to implement a interface here. So what we're going to do is let me go back into the demo room level here. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a blueprint. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to blueprint class. We're going to make an actor class, and I'm going to call this BP return to main function. We'll just call it that. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just drag this into the scene and put it over here. Now if I double click into here, I can go to class settings right up here. And if I come over to interface, I can go add interface, and I want to add that BPI interface button, this one right here. And you'll notice once I've implemented it, it comes in over here. And this is the call trigger actor. And if I double click this, you'll see this is what gets called, and there's a trigger ID right there. But we don't need a trigger ID because this is the only blueprint that's implementing that particular interface for now. So we don't need to worry about the trigger ID. But at some point we might need to. So all we're going to do for this is we're going to go open level by reference. And this is what's going to send us back home. So we'll just go to main menu. So what should happen is when we cross over this sphere and trigger this button, it should call this blueprint here, which is going to open that other level. Now the other issue that we have is that when we come into this level, we're not in the right game mode. So to handle that, what I'd like to do is create a special HUD to manage that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to right click, we'll go to Blueprint class, and we'll search for the HUD class here. HUD class here, and go create. And I'll just call this my game level HUD, like that. And then in here, we're going to go into the event graph, and on event begin play, well, let me do this. Let me get rid of these because I don't need these right now. And let's go ahead and get the player controller. So get player controller. And off of here, we want to search for, let's see if I can get it, UI input mode. There's game and UI. Let's see, is there a game mode here? I just see game and UI mode. So this should be good enough for what we want to do. Set input mode to game and UI. And then let me go ahead and select this and go control, oops. Select this and go control D. We'll search for set show mouse cursor right here. And we're going to turn that off. And we're going to drag off of here and go set enable click events. Essentially what we're doing is we're reversing our UI input control right here. All right. Now all I need to do is come in here. I don't see world settings. Let's see. Do I have world settings up here? Let's see. Here we go. There we go. That was kind of awkward there. Okay. Let's come up to Windows here and go to world settings. And we're going to put this into the BP third person game mode, because this is our player character domain where we'll be moving around as a third person player character. And then for our HUD class, let's just switch that to my game level HUD. And we'll go ahead and save. Now what should happen is when I come into this level, I should have full player control. So let's see if that's what happens. So let's go back into our content level here and go back into our main menu and see what happens. Let's save everything. Let me click into the scene, go F11, go Alt P, and now let's hit start. So here I am, and you'll see I've got, looks like I've got full player control here. So everything seems fine. Yeah, everything looks good. You want to jump. Yeah, everything looks good. Now what should happen then, when I come over here, I should go back to the main menu level. Let's see if that's what happens. No, so let's see. The button lights up. I see it turn green. Now why didn't I go back to the game level? Oh, so I must have done something. I must have missed something. So let's see if I can figure out what I missed. I think it has to do with the trigger, the demo trigger. I don't think I hooked it up. So let me come back in here to the global demo room, test room, and let's see here. That's my blueprint here, right? Let's see, click F. Here it is. And now let's see. Oh, you know what it is? It's over here. If I select this, you'll see on the details here, there's a default here. You see where it's looking for triggered actor, and it can trigger up to 3 actors, and there's our trigger ID. I need to set this to my BP return to main function. So there was no connection there between those two things. So let's try it now. Let's go back into my main menu. Let's hit F11 and go Alt P. Okay, so we'll go start, I come into the level. I can move around just fine. Everything looks good. And let's say I want to go back. I come over here and back to the main menu we come. Now, one thing I noticed is, it's kind of interesting, but let me quit, works. I think I might want to put a little bit of a delay in there because I notice you don't really get to see the button turn green, and I think that's kind of a cool, nice little touch. So let's come in here back into the test room level, and let's see where we can implement that, a little bit of a delay. I might be able to implement it on this one here. So let's see, that's RBP return. So before we open the level, let's just put a little delay in here so we can see the button change colors. So we'll put a delay in there, just a short one, for maybe just a second. Maybe just make it 1 second. And let's see how that looks. And compile and save. Because what's the point of having a button that we don't see even change? So let's go back into the content level here. Click on the main menu. F11 and Alt P. Okay, so we go to start. We come into our level. Perfect. Everything's working great. This space for rent. Fantastic. We walk around in here. Nothing's going on. I'm going to go back. Let's see if there's a delay. Green. And there we go. Yep. That's perfect. So we get to see that button change color. The only thing is maybe that's a little too long of a delay and it almost feels like it's broken. So let me just go back in here real fast and let's just change that to a half a second. Just so that, you know, we know that that's not broken. And that's it. That concludes this section where we have our functionality going. So if we come into our main menu one more time, let's take a look around. Let's go F11, Alt P, and you'll see where are we at. We have our quit button works, our start button works, our more button works, our return button works. What I think I'd like to do now is, because there's a lot of work to do in the one section on getting that slideshow and the movies playing. So I think what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead, now that we've got the start button at least working. So if we click here, and then I come over here, and I'm back here. Since this button is essentially working now, and this button's working, and this button's working, I'd like to go ahead and create the help menus so they get all the buttons on this side at least working. And then we'll get around to these buttons toward the end. But for now, let's go ahead in the next section and build up our help menu. And there's some very important concepts that we're going to learn in there. So let's go ahead and do that in the next section. So I'll see you in the next section.